So let's break down red, shall we? First off, we do have Demi-Meramon. So while a non-red card is in its Digi-Evolution cards, it gets plus 1000 DP. Maybe this might see some future use. I don't see any benefit right now. The card is just filler, pack filler. Nothing too crazy. I think it's pretty solid though. Don Dokomon is basically allowing you to Digivolve on top of a level 2 with Crossheart in its traits. Some Crossheart decks tech it in just because they want to have another draw option without having to give up their Shoutmons or, you know, any of the other, your Starmon too early. So it's just one of those options they like to play. Then you have Shoutmon here, probably one of the best cards for Crossheart, and that's because for Digivolving 0 from a level 2 with Crossheart in his traits, not a bad trade-off. We'll have more Crossheart Digitama probably in the future, but right now we have it as Pikmon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card and 1 Tamer, both with Crossheart in his traits among them to your hand. Place the wrist at the bottom of the deck in any order, and on deletion, save. What I'm really upset about is that nothing of this new Crossheart stuff plays with the old Shoutmon stuff. I feel like they could have tried to blend it, but they went like, nah, we're going to toss that out the window. Okay, that's fine. But on deletion, that save is really important. And I wish they just fixed that a little bit. Maybe make an errata so that all the Shoutmon stuff can have Crossheart in it. So you can actually attempt to try to splash it in. Because especially while this Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, it gains Rush. I think being able to, if you can get the Shoutmon out, instantly go this way, boom, go for it. And now it can swing in for Rush and Blitz, would be really awesome. Then we have Shoutmon times 4, Material Save 2. When this Digimon would be deleted, you may place two of this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards that are in this Digi-Evolution's Digi-Cross requirements under one of your Tamer in any order. This is your best hope is for you popping it with the Material Save 2 or de-Digivolving it. On play, draw 2. And then end of attack, you may place all this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards under one of your Tamers in any order to unsuspend one of your Tamers. If you do, delete this Digimon. Boom, pop goes the bubble. And that's about it. And the Digi-Cross for 2 is Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Darulomon, and Starmon. So that's kind of just how you lower it. It comes in for a 1 cost because of how many Digi-Crossing for 2. You have 4 targets, bringing it down by 8 for a play cost of 1. Really nasty, very powerful. I think this deck is really the deck to beat the format. Asuramon, just a vanilla 2 cost evolve, just to have the line for Pile Volcomon. That's really what it is. Kanos Wisemon is basically Gamamon's multicolored deck's boss for now. People are trying to tech in like Shine, Greymon, stuff like that, but we'll have to see what goes on here. But Kanos Wisemon is one of the powerful cards. Digivolve 3 from a level 4 in its Digi-Evolution name containing Gamamon. So as long as it's, you know, one of the Gamamon level 4s, you're fine. And then your turn, when one of your Tamers becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. So it's going to probably take, what would it be, a couple tries to get this up there. You need only to get 6000 DP, so very easy in this format. But then if this Digimon has 12,000 DP or more, this Digimon gains security plus 1 for the turn. Not bad. That extra security check applies pressure. All turns, the Digimon gains all effects of the cards in this Digi-Evolution cards with Gamamon in its name. Gamamon's really powerful, just being able to do what you need to. A lot of the effects give like retaliation, piercing, unblockable, blitz. Stuff like that is just crazy good. And it's inheritable. This Digimon gains all effects of the Digimon in its Digi-Evolution cards with Gamamon in its name. Also, being able to pop with the rookie effects are really good. So, very useful, very powerful. Times 4B has Armor Purge. It can Digivolve on top of a level 3 and a level 4. Nothing too crazy out of there. On play, when Digivolving, you may put 1 Digimon card with Crossheart in its traits from your hand or Tamer to the bottom of this Digi-Evolution cards. Then, when this Digimon has Beelzemon in its Digi-Evolution, return 2 cards with Crossheart in its traits from your trash to your hand. Really a cycler, but sadly this card is just trash. It just does not help, and it requires a little too heavy for you to play it for a cost of 5. So Shoutmon times 4 plus Beelzemon, Not worth it in my opinion. It's just not good. Yeah, pass out on that. Shoutmon ×5 is ridiculous. It comes in for free. It has security +1, blocker, and material save 3. Really nasty. Outside of that, nothing too crazy. It just got, you know, cross for Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Doraluamon, Starmon, and Sparrowmon. Yes, I know that it's supposed to be cross 5, but I've grown up with, you know, hearing ×5. So, yes, cross 5 is the proper pronunciation if you go for Japanese, but it's ×5 or cross 5, your choice. When Digivolving, this is Blitz for Pile Volcamon. Not terrible. I mean, Blitz is really powerful. In your turn, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP. 13,000 is nothing to scoff at times. We do have ×5 here, B, which is also cross 5B. Shoutmon here on play. When Digivolving, you may place one Digimon card with cross hardness traits from your hand or from under one of your tamers under that Digimon as a bottom Digi-Evolution card. Then, when this Digimon has Beelzemon Digi-Evolution card, you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon with cross hearts and its traits from your trash without paying its memory cost. It has potential, but I don't see it seeing play. But Shoutmon ×5 and Beelzemon, this only brings it down to a 7 cost. That is not enough. And in blocker, Armor Purge, yes, you can Digivolve on top of this, but it's still expensive for ×5B to go into from ×5. I don't think it's worth it. Jesmon X Antibody, Digi-Evolution on top of the Jesmon for 0. It has Piercing. When Digivolving, you may play one Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Then if you have Jesmon in its Digi-Evolution cards, or you have a Digimon with Sistermon in its name in play, all your opponent's Digimon gets plus 2,000. All your Digimon get plus 2,000 DP, and you may attack unsuspended Digimon until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, blanket effect, you get a bunch of guys that can just attack and board control. Not a bad trade-off, very powerful deck. Shoutmon King version, we're heading into the secrets, boys and girls. So, the name of this card / Digimon is also treated as Shoutmon. On play, return one Digimon with one card with Digicross requirements from your trash to your hand. And then when you would Digicross this turn, you may treat this Digimon as meeting its Digi-Evolution requirements. And then it has Cross for 2. So one of your Digimon with Cross Heart in its traits. You can reduce its play costs, bringing it down to 3. It's going to see maybe some play. Some people might value it. Some people might not. So that's up to you what you want to do with it. But it also has an ability that while this Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, it gets plus 2,000 DP. And then it has Material Save 1. So as long as you get one underneath, it's not a bad trade-off. But that's up to you. Jesmon GX. So Digivolves for 5 from a level 6. From a level 6 Royal Knights in its trait. So this gets ridiculous pretty quickly. When Digivolving, you may place one Digimon card with Royal Knights in its traits and a play cost 13 or less from your hand or trash under this Digi-Evolution as a bottom Digi-Evolution card. Activate one of its placed when Digivolving effects. So there's a lot of nasty when Digivolving effects in Royal Knights, so might be worth checking it out. And then it Blitz all turns when this Digimon has a Digi-Evolution card with Royal Knights in its trait. In its Digi-Evolution cards, it gains Piercing, Blocker, and Security +1 for each. So that security check can get ridiculous pretty quickly because Jesmon plus X Antibody Jesmon plus whatever you put underneath there means 4 security checks and probably spitting out a bunch of Sistermons in one turn. Not bad. Bearer Claw, so main effect, one of your Digimon gets plus 2,000 DB for the turn. Then, by placing one Digimon card with Gamamon in its name from your hand to the bottom of one of your Digi-Evolution cards, draw a card. This card is similar to Rowdy Rocker and a little cheaper than Rowdy Rocker. So, being able to put something underneath, you get a draw and a boost. Not a bad trade-off, but it is restricted to Gamamon. So, you may play, and Security may play a Gamamon from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Not bad for a free body. And then we have Hero of the Sky. Activate one of your effects below. If you have a Digimon with Shoutmon ×5 in its name in play, activate all the effects below instead. One of your Digimon with Cross Heart in its traits gains Security +1. And then draw 2. Not a bad thing. Extra security checks applies pressure. And that draw 2 is really good. I love it. So we'll have to see what happens. Some people actually play this over Fireball. Some people play both Fireball and this card. And some people just play Fireball. Your choice, your preference. I'm not going to judge you. Burning Star Crusher. Choose one of your level 4 or lower Digimon with Sheltmon in its name. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to the chosen DP. This card is just terrible. Trash. Don't worry about it. I mean, the security effect might be the only thing worth value. Reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 card with Digimon Crossheart and its traits from among them to your hand. Then you may play 1 Taiki from among them without paying its memory cost. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Not bad. And then we have Taiki. So on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Crossheart and its traits among them to your hand. And 1 Digimon card with Crossheart and its traits under this tamer. Return any of the remaining cards to the bottom of the deck in any order. So basically you get a +2 in most circumstances, because being able to hide a Digimon underneath and then +1 card into your hand is really valuable. And then your turn, when playing one of your Digimon with Crossheart requirements, by suspending this tamer, you may also place cards from under your tamers into Digi-Evolution sources by Digi-Crossing. Not bad. This is what makes the deck really function, because being able to spit out your hidden saved Digimon after they kamikazed and died, not a bad thing. Let's move on to blue. Blue has Bebetomon. This is another like Upamon. So when attacking, once per turn, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, draw 1. I wish it wasn't once per turn. The condition is a little harder to meet because people can play around it, but hey, that's just me. And then we have Blaulukomon. It's just a vanilla, nothing too special there. Gasamon is basically on deletion, play a level 4 blue flare from its traits from your hand, suspended without paying its memory cost. Lets you, really the ideal target is to hit this, because on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 2 cards with blue flare and its traits among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. If you have Kirihara, Christopher in play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from trash to your hand instead. On deletion, save. Not bad. It gets to hide underneath tamers. And then Greymon, when attacking, if this Digimon has blue flare in its traits, your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, suspend this Digimon. Unsuspend this Digimon. Especially against wide boards like Jetsmon, Bloomlord, it's really awesome to be able to stun the, blockers and stuff like that, prevent them from stopping you, and being able to restand and get an extra attack in is really awesome. Decardramon is such an awesome punish, it's not even funny. And what do you mean by awesome punish? On play, draw a card. Then for each of your opponent's Digimon, draw another card. So if your opponent has a board of 4, you just, for 5 costs, went, I draw 5. Let's see how well that helps. That is nuts to me. I think any card that has the ability to draw you 5 very easily for whatever your opponent is doing, really nasty. On deletion, save, so it gets to hide, and then all turns while this Digimon has 2 or more Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. I like it. Male Bergermon on play. If you have a Christopher in play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand. If you don't have Christopher in play, you may place 1 card from your hand without paying its memory cost. Not bad. Then we do have on deletion, save, so it gets to hide underneath the tamer when it dies. And then when attacking, when this Digimon has blue flare in its traits and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of the next turn. So this is really awesome. Being able to stun without having the source requirements is really good. Thisismon. So this card, when Digivolving, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, draw 2. So this fills its conditions here. When attacking, if you have 8 or more cards in hand, you may trash 2 cards from your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. This allows multi-attacking. I don't see this deck going crazy. It has potential, but I don't see it going nuts. Metal Greymon here, material save 2. So basically the Greymon and Male Bergermon that you put underneath it can be saved very easily. And it comes in for 3 costs for its cross requirements. Not bad, I like it. On play, this Digimon gains Rush. So for the turn, then if you have Digicross 3 of your opponent's Digimon with a number of Digi-Evolution cards less than or equal to this Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of opponent's next turn. So being able to stun 3 bodies, and then when it swings, it stuns a 4th, that's nasty. Very powerful. Then we have Cyberdramon. Nothing really played on this for the blue flares, but it's not a bad card. Hand main, if you have a Digimon with blue flare in its traits, by paying the memory cost 3, Place this card under one of your Digimon's Digievolution cards, then unsuspend that Digimon. It's another way of getting a quick unsuspend and a multi-attack in. While this Digimon has 2 or more Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Your opponent, the whole deck is opponent reliant, so just keep that in mind. Decker Greymon is your top end, basically your big boss. It has Armor Purge, really solid. Then it has on play or when Digivolving, you may place 1 Digimon card with blue flare in its traits from your hand or from under your tamer to the bottom of this Digievolution cards. Then if this Digimon has Decker Drummon in its Digievolution, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of next turn. So basically another stun, because if you go Metal Greymon into Decker, basically we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stuns 1 turn. Really nasty, can stop your opponent dead in his tracks. And then the Cross Heart 2, this thing comes in for 5 if you hard play it, because you need Metal Greymon and Decker Drummon. We'll have to see. Baruchimon. So this card, just basically nothing too crazy, vanilla. Regulesmon. So this card is when Digivolving, trash 2 bottom of Digievolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. When attacking, if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digievolution cards in play, you may play 1 level 3 and 1 level 4 Digimon card with Digievolution cards without paying its memory cost. It just spits out some guys, nothing too crazy, doesn't see competitive play. Cannon Dramon is basically a big blocker. When Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. I mean, not a bad trade-off. Swing in. If it survives, you go into this, you get a blocker. And then opponent's turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's by battle, unsuspend it, you get at least 2 blocks on your opponent's turn. So, I think it can work. Blazing Memory Boost. If you see this in your opening hand, you are in a good spot. I think 3 is a solid mark, but some people like 4. Reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. Add up to 2 cards with blue flare and its traits among them to your hand. You may play 1 Christopher among them without paying its memory cost. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. And then place this card into the battle area, gain 2. And then security just places it into the secure on the field. Not terrible. Really powerful, especially going first. Even if you just slam this down, the value town you get out of it, especially if you get a Christopher out of it right afterwards, really good. Plasm Decker Draw Launcher. So when you would use this card, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, reduce the play cost by 2. Becomes a 5 cost. Return one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon to its owner's hand. And then security, return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand. This is Kikaitis Breath in security. If not, it's really strangely just a 6/7 killer. Well, bouncer. And then we have Carrera Anoma. This card is just Christopher. I'm just going to call it that. Start a turn. If you have 2 or less memory, set your memory to 3. It's your memory setter. But your turn, when you would play a Digimon card with cross hardens requirements by suspending this tamer, you may also play cards from under your tamers as Digievolution cards when Digicrossing. Not bad. I love it. Very solid there. Let's go here. Yellow's got some nice toys as well. First off, Pikmon is your Crossheart thing. So if you're building Crossheart, this is the card you want for your Digitama. If the Digimon has Crossheart, it gains draw 1 when it swings, when attacking. And then Starmon's is a Crossheart card. It has on deletion save. And when attacking, if the Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, draw a card. Not bad. Tinkermon isn't really seeing play. On play, one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon gets security -1 until the end of the next turn. Nothing too crazy here. Peter Tinkle is not coming back, sadly. Then we have Pulsemon here. Opponent's turn. While you have 3 or less security, this Digimon gains blocker. And then Bibimon, basically Digicost for 0. So even if you use the green one, it's playable there. Renamon is for your new plugin deck. She has an on play. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with plugin in its name. 1 yellow tamer among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Your turn, when you would use an option card with a cost 2 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2000 DP. Not bad. Shortmon is just vanilla. Dorulomon basically combos with Angie or Hakari. So on play, if you have another Digimon with or tamer with Crossheart in its traits, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -3000 DP until the end of the next turn, making them smaller, easier to kill, but can Digivolve on top of a level 2 for 2 cost level 3 Crossheart. And then on deletion save gets to hide itself. And then while this Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, all your opponent's security Digimon gets minus 2000 DP. Not bad. Then we have Dracomon. So when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus security +1 until the end of the next turn. Doesn't really see play. Kirubimon is basically activate one of the effects below. Return one option when plug in its name from your trash to your hand. By trashing one option card with plug in its name, draw 2. Very solid, being able to give you advantage or cycle back pieces. Weddingmon, basically vanilla, nothing too crazy here. Suzuomon, basically, when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security -1 until the end of opponent's next turn. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets security -1 until the end of your opponent's next turn. Nothing too crazy there. Taomon, when digivolving, may use one option card with plug in its name from your hand, ignoring its color requirement without paying its cost. I like it. We have Achillesmon. When digivolving, one of your level 2 or fewer security, recovery 1. If you're at 2 or less, not bad. Get you to 3 where you need to be. When attacking, if you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5000 DP for the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 2 memory. Not bad. And then we have Sukuyamon Maiden Mode. This card is nuts and it's very powerful. It is played majorly in security control decks, just to cycle in the amazing card that is called, you want to guess it? Guess it. Did you guess it? Write it down in the comments. I will tell you right now. And that is your, the Blast Buster. Blah, 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 blah. It is Buster. Let me type it out. Buster. If this loads. Sunrise Buster. So this card wants to combo in with Sunrise Buster just to spill it back out, because what happens is you get to play that for free and then get to put it right on top of security stack. So you just literally punish your opponent on top of it twice. So you may use an option with plug in its name or a yellow option with a memory cost 5 or less from your hand, ignoring color restrictions and without paying its memory cost. And then after using that option, instead of trashing it, place it on the top of your security stack. You get to use it twice. And then if you have more maiden modes, you get to cycle it again. And then when attacking, this Digimon can digivolve into a Sukuyamon from your hand for a memory cost 1, ignore its Digi-evolution requirements. I like it. Most of the time, it is just security control. Venusmon is security control's newest boss. When digivolving, all your opponent's Digimon gets minus security 1 until your opponent's end turns. An opponent's turn, your opponent's Digimon gets with security attack anything, can't attack this Digimon, and when digivolving and when attacking effects of those Digimon do not activate. So it shuts it down pretty hard. Akari, sorry, not Hikari, Akari. On play, you may play one Duralumon from your hand or under this tamer without paying its memory cost. When you play a Digimon with Crossheart in its name, you may suspend this tamer, draw a card. So much free value, not even funny. Healing Therapy, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security -1 until the end of opponent's next turn. If you have Venusmon in play, 3 of your opponent's Digimon gain minus security +1 until the end of their turn. Activate the main effect. Healing Therapy is not played. Impulse Memory Boost, so you may play one Pulsemon from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then place this card in the battle area, delay, gain 2 memory. Free value there, not a bad trade-off, especially for a 3 cost. Loken Amastito. I am not pronouncing this right ever. So if you have a Digimon with Pulsemon or a Digimon with Pulsemon as Digi-evolution cards, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. So if you have a green Pulsemon Evolve line, you get to have this. And then main, if you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 12,000 DP for the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security, place one of your opponent's Digimon face down on their security stack. Security Control likes this card a bit. Sometimes they play it, sometimes they don't. It's up to you. I think it's a very powerful card. Let's move on to green, shall we? We have Bossmon. So when a Digimon becomes suspended by an effect, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP. Not terrible. Sets up for the new Angoromon line, so nothing too crazy there. Mushroomon is Mushroomon, vanilla. Vegetation, so it sees play just because it combos with Bloom Lord for now. Angoromon, basically your turn when you play a green tamer, draw a card. When an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, draw a card. Not terrible. Kokuamon, this is your new best friend in your grandest deck. So your turn, when this Digimon attacks and deletes an opponent's Digimon, gain 1 memory. Not bad. Being able to have a evolve line like that finally really helps out, because that was the major problem for the deck, is that its best Gokuamon is basically a 1-cost evolve. Then we have Palmon here. So on play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with plant, vegetation, and traits, and 1 card with fairy and its traits among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Very powerful searcher, definitely needed. Red vegetation, very solid, nothing too crazy. Sunfloramon, when digivolving by suspending one of your green Digimon, you may play 1 card that contains plant, vegetation, or fairy in its traits, and 3000 DP or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. Sets up, extend your plays, sets you really ahead. Your turn, when one of your Digimon is suspended by effect, draw a card. Not terrible. Ballistamon is for your Crossheart deck, and of course you need it because most of the deck requires it. Opponent's turn, while you have another Digimon or Tamer with Crossheart in its traits, Digimon gains blocker. When an opponent, blocker is very powerful. You need it this format. On deletion, save, and then while this Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, this Digimon gains piercing. I love piercing. Being able to pierce through your opponent's stuff and be able to room a threat, really good. Wasn't Gemamon, so it has piercing, and this is for the Gemamon line. That piercing now gives it to Kronos Wasmon. Wazamon. That card is basically going to gain piercing, and that's nuts. We have Sabron Angormon. So this card is when your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, gain a memory. Really solid for the rookie, Digitama, rookie, and champion line. But once we get to level 5, we're sad. Cherrymon, Digizorption 2, becomes in for a reduced cost, basically a Digi-Evolution cost of 1. Opponent's turn, when your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may switch the target of the attack to one of your suspended Digimon. Being able to redirect your opponent's attack to help protect your Bloom Lord is really good. And then we have a Jortoramon, main phase. By suspending one of your green Digimon, you may play 1 Digimon card that contains plant, vegetation, and fairy in its traits with 3000 DP or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. Not bad. Most of the champions will be in that 3000 DP range. And then your turn, when one of your Digimon becomes suspended by an effect, gain 1 memory. Not bad, especially helps out with Digizorption. Lamortamon. So this card, when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, end of attack once per turn. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, unsuspend it. So at least gets multiple attacks. But when attacking, if you don't have a Tamer in play, you lose 2 memory. What in the name of God did they think about that? This is ridiculous. That's not worth it. Hopefully they fix it in its Mega, but we'll have to see. Gyrofamon, basically a vanilla, nothing too crazy there. Lotusmon is when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That Digimon doesn't unsuspend during their opponent's next unsuspend phase. All your opponent's Digimon, other than all your Digimon with traits that are plants, vegetation, or fairy, gain on deletion, gain 2 memory, return one Digimon with 3000 DP or less from your trash to your hand. Especially when they're trying to blow up your stuff, you can cycle in, and that's ridiculous. Because guess what? That gain 2 memory, that means it puts a small protection. If they go Death X and clear your board, that Death X that maybe cost them 4 just probably cost them way much more memory because of that 2. You probably go to 10 from that. Bloom Lord, new green boss. When digivolving, you may suspend one of your Digimon. Then for each of your suspended Digimon that contains plant, vegetation, and fairiness traits, gain 1 memory. I love it because he can get plus ridiculous. And when you gain 2 or more memory with this effect, unsuspend this Digimon. This Digimon gains piercing, so it lets you get more pressure in. And then your turn, for every 2 suspended Digimon, this Digimon gains 2000 DP and security plus 1. He gets beefy real quick, and those extra security checks gets nasty. Zenjiro, not a bad card. On play 1 Ballistamon. So if they hit this in security, that's a free Ballistamon. Ridiculous. From under one of your Tamers without paying its memory cost. And then your turn, you may play a Digimon with Crossheart in its traits to gain 1 memory. So by suspending him, very powerful. He's real reason why the deck goes off, because you can set them to 3, and then he's gonna at least guarantee some stuff. Even setting him to 1, that means it might be multiple times 4 comes down, cross 4. Ruli Really. So she's a memory setter, and then when you attack with a Digimon that has Ongormon in its name or a level 5 or higher, you may suspend this tamer to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. Not very powerful. Panyu Dump, so I don't know why they named it that. One of your Digimon gains piercing, not bad. Then if you have a Digimon with Angoromon in its name, or a Digimon with Angoro in its Digivolution, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Not a bad trade-off. And then security, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then add this card to hand. I see possible future use if it gets more support. Grande Soul, this card is used in security controls, or they use it in Crossheart. So suspend one of your Digimon, then you return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their owner's deck. And if you have 2 or more green suspended Digimon in play, reduce the cost by 2. Not a bad trade-off. Very powerful. Next, let's move on to black cards. Next, we do have Monemon. So while this Digimon has Twilight in its traits, it gains 1,000 DP. Not bad. Then we have Monotamon. So on play, reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck. Add 2 cards, either black with Black Nightmon or Deadly Axemon in its name, or Twilight in its traits among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Your Searcher, very much played. Spotamon basically is a legendary arms card because on play, by placing this Digimon under one of your Digimon with a legendary arms across Heart in its traits to the bottom of the Digivolution cards, you Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Not bad. And then when attacking, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 legendary arm or cross heart among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. It sees play in the legendary arms deck, doesn't see play in cross heart. Sparrowmon, all turns while you have a Digimon or Tamer with cross heart in its traits, this Digimon gets a 3,000 DP boost. He's a 5k swinger, not bad. On deletion, save. While this Digimon has Shoutmon or Minervamon in its name, it gains reboot. Go for it. Mighty Axe mode, basically Skull Nightmons and Deadly Axemon. It counts as Skull Nightmon and Deadly Axemon outside of the breeding area. So that's just about it. On play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 card with Nightmon in its name and Deadly Axemon, or Nene among them to your hand. Trash the remaining cards, and then if you Digicross with 2 materials, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a 4 play cost. Not bad. Be able to board control and search. Never terrible. Golemon's a vanilla. High Vision Monotamon. You need 3 Monotamon. You are never playing this card. Gogamamon is basically vanilla. You're never playing this card. Assaultmon is vanilla. Never playing this card. Dark Nightmon, on play, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. If you Digicross with 2 materials, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 5 or less. All turns when this Digimon would be deleted by returning a level 4 or lower black Digimon card with its Digi-Evolution sources to your hand. You may play 1 Skull Nightmon Deadly Axemon from its Digi-Evolution cards without paying its memory cost. And then it comes in for 4. Not bad. Then we have Justimon Critical Arm. New combo card. It's not going to improve Justimon really that much. But when Digivolving, by returning 1 card with Justimon in its name other than Justimon Critical Arm from the Digimon Digi-Evolution cards to your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 9 or less. When attacking, if you have a Tamer in play, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Justimon in its name other than Justimon Critical Arm from your hand, ignoring its Devolution requirement by paying 2. This gets you back into Justimon Blitzarm, and hopefully when BT-11, this card just phases out a bit. We have Genkomon X Antimati. This is straight up for your beautiful Jesmon deck. So it has blocker, and when Digivolving, you may place 1 Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Then, if Genkomon is in its Digi-Evolution cards, or you have a Digimon with Sistermon in its name in play, until the end of your opponent's next turn, all your Digimon get 2,000 DP. Your opponent's effects cannot return them to hand or deck or reduce their DP. So, very much beefy, powerful houses. Dark Nightmon, basically X Antibody, really what Dark Nightmon needed for a top end. So it Digivolves for 4 for Dark Nightmon, but when Digivolving, return 1 black or purple Digimon card other than Dark Nightmon X Antibody from your trash to your hand. Then when this Digimon has Dark Nightmon or X Antibody in its Digi-Evolution, delete 1 Tamer, unsuspend this Digimon. Free unsuspend, and if you have it set up, you can pop one of theirs, and then have a blocker on board. On deletion, you get to play a Dark Knightmon from trash. Blastmon, Rush, on play, if this Digimon has 3 Digievolution cards, Blitz. Opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks by trashing one of the Digievolution cards, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimons. Not terrible. Nene is for your Dark Knightmon deck. Really, that's the only time she's seeing play. Because revealing top 4 cards, add 1 card with Knightmon, Deadly Axemon in its name, or Twilight and its traits among them to your hand. Place the wrist at the bottom of the deck in any order. Bonus turn, all your Digimon with Dark Knightmon in its name or Twilight gain blocker, and on deletion gain 2 memory. Immortal Ruler, while you have Nene in play, this card doesn't need a color requirement, so you don't need a purple source. Trash the 3 cards from your deck, then you may play 1 Dark Knightmon from your trash, playing its play cost. If a Digimon with Digicross requirement would be played, you may use the sources from your trash as Digievolution for the cross. So basically, your grand target is this Dark Knightmon. Get it for free. 4 costs come in, not a bad trade-off. Defensive Plug-in C, this is your new Rina card. Well, you know, Sakuyamon card. So if you have a Tamer in play, you can use this without meaningless color requirements. One of your Digimon gains blocker and reboot, and can't be deleted by your opponent's effect until the end of the next turn. Nice blanketed. It should have also had DP reduction, but what am I going to say? Reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. You may play 1 Digimon card with a play cost 4 or less from among them without paying its memory cost. Return the remaining cards to the bottom deck in any order, then add this card to hand. Not a bad trade-off. Justice Kick, when you would use this card for each of your Tamer, reduce the play cost by 1. If you ever get 12 Tamers, this is a free card. You may play 1 Digimon with Justimon in its name from hand without paying its memory cost. If you do that, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of played Digimon's play cost or less. So, play a 12, 11, get the pop 11 or lower. You may play 1 Black Tamer from your hand without paying its memory cost, then add this card to hand. Not a bad cycling, gets you a free Tamer. Not bad. Next, we're going to talk about Purple. Purple Tokomon, when this Digievolution card is trashed by an effect, draw a card. This is basically Bagra support. Gazemon, when you have 10 or more cards in your trash, the Digimon gains retaliation. So this is probably going to be used in future Minervamon decks. Soundbirdmon, when attacking by placing 1 Digimon card from your hand under one of your Tamers, draw a card. On deletion, save. And then when this Digimon card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. This is why we're going to be going this by an effect. So basically what we're going to try to do is pass turn. We're going to punish our opponent from doing things. The deck needs more support. On play, reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 card with Bagra Army and Straight and 1 UU from among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom deck in any order. On deletion, save. And then opponent's turn, when this Digievolution card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. We have Quasalamon, Armor Purge, Purple's first Armor Purge deck, Armor Purge cards. Then we have Daemon, on play when Digivolving. If you don't have your card in play, you may play 1 from your hand without paying its memory cost. On deletion, save. And then when this card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. Not bad. Troopamon, opponent's turn, when your opponent plays a Digimon or Tamer by trashing one of this Digievolution cards, gain a memory. On deletion, save. When your opponent's Digimon card is trashed by an effect, gain a memory. Just basically constantly trying to push turn, reduce their ability to play is really, really important. Mad Leomon, opponent's turn, when the number of cards in your opponent's hand is increased by effect by trashing 1 Digievolution cards from the Digievolutions. Your opponent trashes cards from their hand equal to the number of cards that was increased. So if they have a +2 scenario, you get to trash 2. So, not bad. And Digicross 2, one of your cards with Bagra Army. So he comes in for 3. Opponent's turn, when this Digimon card is trashed by an effect, gain a memory. Solid. Gamamon, wish for being like the big bad of the anime that they're trying to push him as. Digivolve 2 from a Gamamon. While this Digimon has a Gamamon in its name in its Digievolution card, this Digimon gains retaliation. On deletion, you may play 1 Gamamon from your trash, suspended without paying its memory cost. Not bad, not a terrible trade-off. And then Sandaramon, it's a vanilla, nothing too crazy there. Skullblotchimon, when you trash this card in your hand using one of your own effects during your turn, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a purple Digimon card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits from your trash to for its Digi-Evolution cost. When Digivolving, if this Digimon is Digivolved from trash, the Digimon gets on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon until the end of the opponent's until your opponent's turns end. So not a bad trade-off, but Undead needs more support. Balamon, this card is basically the new level 5 that you literally needed for Beelzemon. When attacking, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. On deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in trash, you may play 1 Beelzemon from trash without paying its memory cost. I love it. Beelzemon, Digivolve 4/3 with a cross started in straight. On play, when Digivolving, you may trash 3 cards from the top of your deck. Then, for every 10 cards in your trash, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lowers. Not terrible, because he'll come in for free with Balamon's effect. Then it does have an end of attack. Once per turn, gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in trash. So this could lead to you having more turn. So, especially if you go with I Am Mako, swing in with this, go into Beelzemon Blast mode, and then take out the rest of security. That's how you do it. Minervamon, basically the new loop deck because of retaliation. But when your opponent plays a Digimon card, you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from trash without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects on that Digimon played with this effect do not activate. On deletion, if your opponent has 2 or less Digimon in play, you may play 1 purple level 5 or lower Digimon card, or 1 Minervamon from your trash without paying its memory cost. The super rare of the set, very powerful, I love it. Tactimon, on play, you may play up to 2 level 4 or lower Digimon with Bagura and its traits from your trash without paying its memory cost. Those Digimon gain blocker until the opponent's next turn. Bonus turn, when another Digimon Digi-Evolution card would be trashed by an effect, you may trash this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards instead. Not terrible, really powerful. Wish Bagura was just better. You need most of this card on board for you to do anything. All turns, when a purple card is placed under this tamer, draw a card, gain a memory. Once per turn, by the way, that sucks. Your turn, when you would play a level 4 or higher Digimon with Bagura and its traits by placing up to 3 Digi-Evolution cards, Digimon cards from under your tamers in that Digi-Evolution cards, will reduce the play cost of that Digimon by 2 for each place. So, even with Mad Leomon here, he could come in for free if you have enough sources going for it. Buzzfist, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 card with Bagura and his traits among them to your hand, trash the rest. Then you may place 1 Bagura card with Bagura Army and its traits from your trash under one of your tamers. Security, you may play 1 Yu from hand or trash without paying its memory cost, then add this card to hand. Such a back burner, these 2 cards. And then Death Cannon. Purple got a very powerful removal. So, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lowers, but if you have 10 cards, you get to delete a level 7. If they go even higher to level 8s, you can go up and pop level 8s if they ever do that. But that's about it. And then if it's trash, it gets added to your hand. So it's not a bad trade-off. It's just constant cycling. And then finally, white cards. We have Sistermon Seal. This card basically creates crazy shenanigans with Jessamon. On play, if it is your turn, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits from your hand by paying its Digi-Evolution cost. So you get to climb up again. And then your turn, once per turn, when a Digimon Digivolves into a Hawkmon in its name or Royal Knights in its traits, gain 1 memory. Free reduced cost is always good. Omnimon X Antibody, Digivolve on top of an Omnimon 4/3. When a Digimon with X Antibody's Digi-Evolution card would be Digivolved into this card, reduce the Digi-Evolution cost by 2. When Digivolving, return all your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the opponent's bottom deck in any order. When Digivolving, when attacking, by placing 1 X Antibody level 6 or card from this Digi-Evolution card to the bottom of its owner's deck. Reveal all your opponent's security cards. Trash 1 of them. Place the remaining cards of your opponent's securities face down. Then your opponent shuffles that. So basically, you get to look at it and go like, I don't like that bomb. Get it out here. So, not bad. Upgrade plugin 0. While you have a Tamer in play, you may use this card ignoring his color requirements. One of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP until the opponent's next turn. A little pricey just for a plus, but insecurity gains you 1 memory, add it to your hand. We'll see. Shinkai Mappa, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's a white card. While you have a Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits in play, you may use this Digimon card without meeting its color requirements. Unsuspend one of your Digimon, then if that Digimon is Jessamon GX, activate its 1 Digivolving effect again. So the deck, this card doesn't see play. I mean, Insecurity adds to hand, but this is all the cards in BT-10. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. What is your deck of choice? And hopefully you stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next video. Peace.